Welcome back to your English class, children. So in the previous video you learned about the basic rules of direct and indirect speech. Now in this video let's learn about the conversion of different types of sentences into indirect speech. I hope that you all remember that we have four kinds of sentences, which are statement or declarative sentence, imperative sentence, interrogative sentence and exclamatory sentence. Now let's see how do we convert the statement or declarative sentences into indirect speech. When you convert the statement or declarative sentence into indirect speech, the reporting verb said is changed into told him or her if it is followed by an object. You know the reporting verb is said. What do you mean by reporting verb? Said, will say, says, all these are reporting verbs, right? So the reporting verb said will be changed into told him or told her if there is an object after the reporting verb. Here the object is her. Mohit said to whom? To her. So there is an object here, right? So here if there is an object, then you need to change the reporting verb said into told him or told her. Here one thing what you have to remember is never write told to him, told to her. It should do not write to there, okay? It should be told her, told him. That here the possessive adjective your pen has been changed into her pen, okay? That her pen has been changed into was new, okay? So you have to change the reporting verb if there is an object after the reporting verb. And if there is no object after the reporting verb, then we do not have to change the reporting verb. For example, Rohini said, I am feeling energetic. Now here we can see that there is no object after the reporting verb, right? So here you don't have to change. You can write it as Rohini said that. The pronoun I has been changed into she was, am has been changed into past tense, she was feeling energetic. Is that clear, children? Then, which are the other words that we can write instead of said? These are the words, children: admitted, answered, argued, added, assured, complained, explained, objected, pointed out, stated, promised, remarked, told, replied. Now how do we select this word instead of said? Based on the tone of the sentence. When you read the sentence, you will understand whether it is a promise, whether it is a complaint, whether the person is answering, giving a reply to something, whether the person is adding a statement. Likewise, we will understand from the dialogue. So you need to understand that and select the appropriate word instead of said. Other than that, we also have inform. If you are giving an information, if the dialogue is based on giving an information, then you can write it as informed him or informed her. Okay. Now let's look at the examples, children. Sankita said to Hema, I will return your money soon. Now we understood that it is a statement sentence. What is the first thing that we have to check? Whether it has an object after the reporting verb said. Yes, we have an object after the reporting verb, right? So we can change it. Now I will return your money soon. Now here we can understand it is a kind of promise that the person is giving, right? I will return the money soon. I will return your money soon. It's a promise. So we can change the reporting verb said into promise. So the sentence will be Sankita promised Hema. Don't write to there. Okay, Sankita promised Hema that. I should be changed into she. Will should be changed into would. She would return, and your possessive adjective your should be changed into her. Her money soon. Okay. Next example. He said to the postman, my letter was delivered at the wrong address. Now here we have an object, so the reporting verb has to be changed. My letter was delivered at the wrong address. That is a kind of complaint that the person is giving, right? So here we can replace the reporting verb said into complained with complaint. Okay, he complained to the postman that his letter, my has been changed into his letter was delivered. This is in which tense, children? Was delivered is in which tense? Yes, it is in simple past form, right? See, this is written in simple past form, was delivered. So simple past form should be changed into past perfect tense, right? So the verb is deliver, so it should be written as had been delivered at the wrong address. Understood? Next is conversion of imperative sentences. Hope you remember that. What do you mean by imperative sentence? Which all will come under imperative sentences, children? Yes, command or order, advice or suggestion, request, right? These are the different categories that will come under imperative sentences. Now let's focus on command. Command or order. How do you convert a dialogue which is a command or an order? The verb of the reported speech is changed into an infinite. That means we have to add to the verb. Okay. Let's look at the example. He said, open the window. Now when you read the dialogue, we'll understand that it is a command. So what do we have to do? We have to add the infinitive to the verb. We have to rewrite it as to open. Okay. Now the next thing is the reporting verb said can be changed into ordered, because we know that it is a command, or we can say it, we can write it like he commanded to open the door. That can also be, but the most appropriate form of writing is ordered. So you can write it as he ordered to open the window. So the reporting verb said has been changed here, and also open should be written as to open. Okay, open should be replaced as to open. Now these are the different words that you can use for imperative sentence command. Commanded, warned, ordered. These are the different words. Now let's look at the next example, children. The old lady said to the child, be careful at the sea beach. Be careful at the sea beach means it's a kind of warning the person is giving, the old lady is giving to the child, right? So we can rewrite said as warned. The old lady warned the child. Now be careful is the verb here. So we have to add the infinitive to be careful at the sea beach. Understood? So this is a command, this is an order, or this is a warning, isn't it? So you can change it into warned and also add infinitive with the verb when you change it. Here remember that we do not write the word that. Okay. Next, the teacher said, sit quietly and finish your work quickly. Now this is a kind of instruction the teacher is giving, right? So we can write it as order. The teacher ordered the students. It is understood that it is said to the students. So we write it as the teacher ordered the students. Sit is the verb here. So what do we have to do? We have to add infinitive. So to sit quietly and finish your work should be changed into their work. Do not forget to change the pronoun and possessive adjective in the sentence. Which are the other things that you have to change in the sentence, children? If there is a time and place mentioned in the sentence, for example, for tomorrow, yesterday and all, when such words come, you have to change, isn't it, children? Then also the tense need to be changed. So these things also you have to remember while you change the sentence. So command is over. Next is request. Now these are the different words that we can use instead of said. Requested, begged, pleaded, based on the dialogue. Okay. The example is, the compere said to the audience, here to the is there, sorry. The compere said to the audience, please be seated. Now this is a kind of request, right? So how will you write that? The compere requested the audience, then what is the verb here? To sit, right? So to be seated, please be seated should be changed into to be seated. Okay? When please comes, you have to write it as requested, and also if it is please be seated, then to be seated. The little girl said to her mother, please do not punish me. Now it's a kind of, she is like requesting so much that we can replace the word with pleaded. Okay, the little girl pleaded with her mother. When the word do not, negative word, it is a negative word, right? It is a negative sentence actually. So you that you have to replace with the word not to. When do not comes, write the word not to instead of do not. Okay, not to punish her. We will be looking at more examples about this. Let's come to the next sentence. The old man said to the driver, please give me a lift. Now here, this is also a request, isn't it? We have an object also there. So we can change the reporting verb said. So we'll write it as, the old man requested the driver. Most probably we'll write request only. Only if it is a that kind of request, like the person is begging to do something, only then we'll write it as pleaded or begged. Okay, otherwise most probably we write requested itself. The old man requested the driver to give him, please give me a lift should be changed to please give should be changed into to give. Infinitive should be added along with the verb. To give, me should be changed into, the pronoun me should be changed into him, a lift. Okay. Next is advise. Okay, when advice comes, which are the words that we can use, children? Advised. Which is the word? Advised. We can use only the word advised, and suggested also you can use. Okay. Suggested, if it is a suggestion given to a person, then you can write it as suggested. Now let's look at the example. Mother said to the child, be careful while handling sharp objects. Be careful while handling the sharp objects. That's a kind of advice the mother is giving to the child, isn't it? So you can write it as, mother advised the child, be careful. Hope you remember that we need to add infinitive to, right? Infinitive to has been added here, and it will be changed to be careful while handling sharp objects. Okay. Next, Rishi told Binay, you should discuss the problem with your parents. We learned that when should comes, it is a suggestion, right? So it is a suggestion, so you can replace the word told into suggested. So we'll write it as, Rishi suggested that you should discuss the problem. Who should discuss? Binay. Or you can write it in this way as well. Rishi suggested Binay that he should discuss the problem with his parents. In two ways you can write it. Okay. So here it is written, Rishi suggested that Binay should discuss the problem with his parents. Your has been changed into his. Okay, there is nothing else that we need to change there. Next is negative commands. We already saw one sentence, isn't it? Now let's look at it in detail. When negative commands, if it is a negative command, how do we change that sentence? We have to add negative plus infinitive. Negative means negative word is not, right? So we have to add to also along with it. Let's look at the example, children. The policeman said to the thief, don't try to run away. Now here the policeman is giving a warning. So the reporting verb said has been changed into warned. The policeman warned the thief, don't try. So I already said that when do not comes, what you have to do? You have to change the word into not to. Okay. So the thief not to try to run away. Next, the lawyer said, don't attempt to mislead the court. Here also it is a warning, isn't it? and it starts with a negative word, don't. So how will you write that? The lawyer said should be changed into want. The lawyer want. Don't should be changed into not to. Not to attempt to mislead the court. Understood, children? That's all about imperative sentences. Only two things you have to remember. Three things actually, right? First thing, change the reporting verb according to the tone of the dialogue. Second thing, add to the infinitive. Okay. Then third thing is about the negative word. When negative word do not comes, write not to instead of do not. Okay, children. Next is conversion of interrogative sentences into indirect speech. Hope you remember what you mean by interrogative sentence. What is an interrogative sentence, children? Yes, a question, right? Question sentences. So, how do we change a question sentence into indirect speech? First thing is, the question mark is replaced by a full stop. When you change it into indirect speech, we do not write question mark. We replace it with full stop. The question form is changed into statement form. Obviously, it would be a statement sentence, right? That is why we are putting full stop. Let's look at the example. She said to me, "What did you eat in the morning?" Now we understand that this is an interrogative sentence. So we have to remove the question mark and make it into statement form. We have to make it into statement form and then put full stop, isn't it? So because see, here we cannot write the reporting verb said. Here we have to change it into asked. So here it is written, she asked me, what did you eat? Is which tense, children? Did you eat? Yes, it is in simple past. So simple past should be changed into past perfect tense. So did you eat should be changed into what I had eaten. Had eaten is the past form, right? So what I had, did you has been changed into I, because here the object is me, right? So it is said to me, so it should be changed into I. What I had eaten in the morning. Okay. Now the other words that we can use as reporting verb is inquired, demanded and all. Okay, most probably we use asked, but if a person is asking any information to another person, then we have to write it as inquired. If a person is demanding anything from other person, then you have to write it as demanded. Understood, children? So let's look at the example. I said to my sister, where is my purse? Now she is asking this, right? Where is my purse? So we can write it as asked. I asked my sister where my purse was. Where is my purse? It is written, isn't it? So that would be changed into statement as where my purse was. Now here what you have to remember is, when WH question word comes in a sentence, comes in as interrogative sentence, what you have to remember is regarding the word order. Okay. When WH word questions what, why, when, where are changed into indirect speech, the WH words are repeated. That is why here it is repeated. We are not making any other change like how we did for other sentences. So the word should be repeated and the verb comes after the subject. Okay, when you change it into indirect speech, the verb should be written after the subject. What is the verb here, children? Is the verb here, right? And what is the object? We are talking about the camera. So camera is the not object, subject. Okay, so camera is the subject, isn't it? So here the WH word should be repeated. After that you have to write the subject. Then at the end only we write the verb. So the sentence would be where the camera was. Is should be changed into was. Did you understand? First you have to, after changing the reporting verb, what you have to do? You have to write you have to repeat the question word where. If it is where, where. If it is when. Okay. Then you should write the subject. Here camera is the subject, so I have written the where the camera. Then comes the verb, and don't forget to make the change regarding the verb. Okay. Next, he said to her, what is the name of your school? What is the name of your school? Now here it is an interrogative sentence. So it is a kind of question. So you can write it as asked. The reporting verb said should be changed to asked. Then what is the next thing that we have to remember, children? It starts with WH word, question word, right? So the WH question word should be repeated. Then what should you do? Then comes the subject. What is the subject here? Name. What she is asking here? Name of a school. So what the name of her school was. Here your is there. Possessive adjective your is there. So it should be changed into her. What the name of the school was. Is has been changed into was. See, the verb is written at the end after the subject. Next question. She said to Anushka, why are you late? Okay. Interrogative sentence starting with WH question word. So we will write it as she asked Anushka why. What is the subject here? To whom it is asked? You, right? So why she? You has been changed into she. Why she was late. Understood? Next is about interrogative sentences that start with do, does, did. Okay. When do, does, did comes in a sentence, we have to replace that word with the word if. See, for statement sentences, we used to write the word that, isn't it? But for interrogative sentences, we most probably write the word if, except for WH question. Okay, for WH question words, we do not write that. But rest of the question sentences, interrogative sentences, we use the word if. So here the question is, she said, did you break the vase? Now did has come here, right? So it should be written as she asked if. Did should be replaced with if. If did you break? Again simple past tense, so it should be changed into past perfect tense. So it should be written as if I had broken the vase and put a full stop.